Hello, my beautiful viewers out there. Today, as requested by you guys, I am going to be doing a showcase of my personal sneaker collection. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video, as I will be releasing more of this content in the coming weeks, and that is the best way to stay updated with what I'm going to release. So, to start off showcasing my collection, I just have to say a little disclaimer. Most of my collection is going to be quite Jordan and Nike orientated. That's because I'm quite an unusual size. I'm a US 17, which is a UK 16, European 51.5 to like a 52.5 sometimes, depending on the shoe. So most of the stuff that I have is pretty general release. There's not too many exclusives in it. I'll have a lot of general release pairs like some, Air Forces, some Converse, Lows, things like that, but I didn't think I should showcase them in this because they're kind of just like shoes that you see every day. I think the stuff that I will showcase today for you guys is the stuff that I personally think is quite cool and that I like collecting and that a lot of people may or may not have. I think that's the best way to go about it, because if I just showcase every shoe that I have, you might as well just walk down the street and see what everyone else is wearing, because it'll just be Converse and Nike Air Forces and stuff like that. So yeah, unfortunately I won't have a lot of Yeezys in the collection. The total amount of Yeezys I have is none. Because the resale value on them, for some reason, whenever it's like a bigger than a size 15, they resell them for like 5 times the resale price that any other size has. It's probably due to the quantity, but until I do make, or potentially ever make, a big ball of dollars, I don't think I'll be able to buy them anytime soon. Hopefully maybe they'll just keep re-releasing them so much that the size 17s and 16s will go down in price and maybe I can buy them, but until that day comes, fellas, unfortunately I'm stuck with what I have. But either way, I'm going to showcase it to you anyway. So the first pair that I'm going to be debuting to you right now from my collection is the Adidas Ultra Boost. I think it's the 1.0s Uncaged. So I bought these because a lot of my friends over the past couple of years have been telling me that Boost is the future, that Boost was the way to go. Unfortunately, all the shoes that had Boost in them at the time were Ultra Boosts that either sold out in my size or was just never available on resale in my size. The only other alternative if I wanted Boost were Yeezys, but as I was talking about in the disclaimer, Yeezys were so much money. So eventually I was browsing through GOAT, really good app if you want to buy sneakers for quite a cheap resale price. I was browsing through GOAT and saw that this pair here, it was going around for like 100 and something US dollars, and it was labeled as brand new, and then when GOAT received it they said they had been worn. I couldn't see anything from like the 30 photos that GOAT sent me saying that they were used, but they said, did you want a discount on them anyway? And I was like, you know what, they were discounted already from the retail price, adding another discount to them, psh, I don't mind, that sounds sick. Personally, I don't wear it for outfits that I want to, really pop off and look awesome. It's more just like a comfort sneaker if I were to like, walk down to the store, go for a run, something like that. This is something that I'd be wearing, but I thought I'd just showcase it because one, it's my only Adidas shoe. I mean, not that I'm not an Adidas fan, I would love to get more Adidas stuff, but I'm quite limited. As I was saying, there's not much that I can actually get that appeals to me, that also appeals to me as well. It's not just like if Adidas released every shoe that it does in size 17, I would buy it. It's more stuff that looks nice to me, stuff that I would either buy for comfort or for style. Neither of those criteria have been met by Adidas so far for me in my size. So this was my first jump into Adidas and my first jump into Boost. Personally, love Boost. I think it's great. I really would be keen to see more shoes with it in my size, but that's up to Adidas. That's up to if they're willing to do it or not. Hopefully in the near future though, if the Yeezy prices keep dropping, I will eventually be able to buy myself my first pair of Yeezys, so that would be a kind of cool experience for me to do. Would I buy the V2s, the 350 V2s? Maybe, maybe not. I think I'd probably save up for like the 500s or 700s, because the V2 350s are kind of, in my opinion, they're not what they used to be. They kind of died off with all the colorways coming out, so I think seeing the 500s or 700s in my collection would definitely be a goal, probably by the end of this year, if not the end of next year. Yeah, definitely. So for sneaker number 2, just a bit of disclaimer before I even show it onto the screen. These are beat to hell, and they're pretty gross. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty gross. But to show you what they are, they're the Jordan 1 triple red. I mean, they used to be red here and at the toe box, but they are triple red elephant print ones. Non-OG, obviously, because they have a Jumpman at the back and a Jumpman on the tongue as well. But yeah, the reason I wanted to showcase these guys to you was that they have a lot of sentimental value to me. They're not the best looking sneaker, they're pretty hideous, and I probably wouldn't wear them out in public very often. But the reason that they're so beat and why I've worn them so much is that these were my first ever pair of Jordans. So my friend Dorian got me into the sneaker culture initially, and I wanted to buy my first pair of Jordans, and I thought that for some reason this would be a brilliant idea back in like 2015. Obviously now and every year after that, I thought, wow, what the hell was I thinking? But yeah, I've worn them heaps. They're still part of my collection because, you know, it's the first one. I can't just like throw it away. It's the first ever Jordan I ever bought, even if it is absolutely hideous. As you can see, it's very, very browned out these days. That's because now I usually wear them for things like going to music festivals. So every single time there's the end of year Falls Music Festival down here in Australia, I usually go to that and various other music festivals around here. Seriously though, in the festival scene, these are the best, one of the best shoes to protect my ankles and stuff from people just like dancing around, flailing their legs about. These have kept me comfortable, kept me safe every single festival I've gone to. So, you know, this ankle guard here, it's been protecting my ankle in a mosh pit ever since I started buying these bad boys. So, for sneaker number 3, it's going to be the Jordan 1 High Decon Easter blue pair. So, in Easter or around Easter of 2017, Jordan Brand and Nike decided to release a couple of Jordan 1s in a denim material Easter spring kind of colorway. I absolutely love this shoe. Originally I bought the blue one and the pink one, but when Eastbay shipped off the blue one, for some reason, even though it said it was in stock, the pink one must have sold out in a size 17 and I never actually got it. They refunded my money, but I was really keen on getting both the blue and the pink one. The pink one's quite an, it's not a hot pink, it's warm. It's definitely a warm pink. More of a salmon type of pink, but I really wanted it because I had a couple outfits I think it could definitely fit with. But I think this shoe's a really nice shoe for the summertime, really not bright outfits, but very warm outfits, things to do with, you know, light blues, whites, colors like that. I think it's really nice. The material difference, having it in denim, is really cool. Personally, it's a little less comfortable than the normal Jordan 1s because it's missing the padding around the heels. This is just denim at the back here. There's no like internal padding on the inside, which, yeah, like kind of makes it look a little bit more vintage like, but in all honesty, I kind of miss the, you know, padding around the back and stuff like that. Same with the rest of the inside of the shoe, because it's just a denim constructed shoe, they're missing out on all the internal padding. Not a downside to the shoe really, but it just makes it a little bit less comfortable to what is essentially already a not highly comfortable shoe in the beginning, because I know the Jordan 1s isn't exactly being hailed as the most comfortable Jordan to wear. But yeah, really love this shoe. Only wear it during the summer and spring. Can't really wear it whenever it's winter because the rain and dirt will turn this from light blue to a disgusting brown, as you just saw in the previous Jordan. But yeah, no, really love this one, and it was really cheap as well. It was like $90 or something like that, so a lot cheaper than the standard $160, but the $160 for a normal Jordan 1 would be because it's made out of leather and stuff. So I think it being a little bit discounted because it's made of denim is not necessarily a bad thing. I actually quite like it. But yeah, that's sneaker number 3 for you guys in the list. Now for sneaker number 4, I don't know if you've noticed a growing trend already, but I've got another pair of Jordan 1s here. Now, a lot of people that don't know what they are initially when they see them just think they're like a weird variation on the Air Forces. And by God, does that toe box look very, very much like an Air Force toe box once it's been worn through. But yeah, no, these are a pair of Jordan 1 Lows OG. I've kind of only been wanting one lows if they are OG. The difference between an OG and a non-OG pair on the one lows is they still have the Wings logo at the back. The only difference is that on the tongue, the non-OG pairs usually put a Jumpman. I kind of like keeping the authenticity of it being OG by having both the Nike Air logo on the front and the Wings logo at the back. Really simple colorway, basically triple white except for the tabs at the back and front. I think it's a really clean, easy shoe to wear. Quite comfortable, and I can't remember what they're called, but the things at the end of the laces, they've got cool little gold tips. I didn't know that when I was buying them, and got surprised by it when they arrived, and they got little Jumpman on them as well. Yeah, really cool, simple little shoe. I think they retail at like 110, I think, USD. The lows retail for less, obviously, because there's less to them. But yeah, very simple, very nice. I hope the Jordan brand actually releases more lows in the future, because I'd be really keen on some more lows. Apparently there's a rumor that we might get a Travis Scott low or a Shattered Backboard low. I mean, they're all rumors on Instagram, you guys know what it's like, but I would love to see both. I would like to see both be in a low variation. I would probably buy both, because yeah, honestly, I'm a fan of the lows. But yeah, that's sneaker number 4 on the list for you guys. Now, you're probably catching on to my trend here by now. Oh, it's probably another Jordan 1. Well, guess what? You'd be wrong. For number 5 in the list, we've got the All-Star Chameleon 6s. This was my monumental event. A lot of my friends, my friend that initially got me into sneakers, Dorian, a lot of my other friends, my mates Enzo and Oliver, they were always telling me, dude, we've had enough of your Jordan 1s. You need to dive into something different. And I was like, you know what? Okay, take the big step. I saw on GOAT one day that these bad boys here, they were selling them for like $90 US. And I was like, Jordan 6s for $90 US. The only downside was that the box was trash. And I was like, easy, man, easy, I'll take that. When the box was, quote, trashed, it was trashed. It was like basically a cardboard cutout that I had to reassemble, and then I got the box. Missing the lid, so it was obviously bought from an outlet that didn't sell their size 17 pair. But, in my honest opinion, I got most of what was a box. I got the shoe itself. I got both shoes. I didn't just get it right. For $90, for $90 US plus shipping and handling and all that bullcrap. Like, yeah. I think it's a pretty nice looking shoe, pretty basic, not anything too crazy. The silhouette itself, I actually quite like the silhouette of the 6. It's very chunky, and it looks very futuristic, very dystopian, not like your average day looking shoe. And a lot of people have given me that, I don't know if I'd take it as a compliment, I think I would. They say, yeah, this is something that looks very alternative, very different, and I really like it. I think it's a really cool shoe, and if you can see it in the light on the video, it shines slightly different colors depending on the light levels. So most of the time it looks like a greeny blue, but sometimes it can get to a purple depending on, as I said, the light level. Unfortunately, they're not OG. They don't have the Nike Air at the back. They have a Jumpman logo, and they don't have a Nike Air on the bottom. Ew, wonder what that is. But no Nike Air on the bottom. Not too much of a concern for me at the moment, because I hugely wasn't into 6s at the time. I just wanted to jump out of my comfort zone a little bit. Hopefully I'll be doing the same thing this year when I hopefully cop a pair of Bred 4s. I'm hoping to do that at some point, because they are a very nice shoe. And honestly, having this, it may even make me consider copying the infrared 6s that came out this year as well. One thing I have to say about the 6s though, I do really like how well it's structured. This sole and the upper really, really secures your foot. Like when you put your foot in a 6, if you've never worn a 6, it feels like you could never break your ankle or injure yourself in these bad boys. They feel indestructible. The only downside is that I have to wear thicker socks with these, because if I wear thinner socks with them, they rub. They rub and give me blisters, definitely on the back tab here. And initially I think it was with how I was walking, but this tab here, the pull tab, was hitting the back of my ankle. I think that was the way I was walking. It's resolved now, but the rubbing still happens. So I would say definitely if you're buying 6s, get to try them on first. Obviously I couldn't, because nowhere near me sells size 17 Jordan 6s or Jordans in general. So I had to go with a bit of a hit or miss on if it was going to be a 16 or 17 for me. But because they were so cheap, I just copped the 17s. But yeah, honestly, in my recommendation, if you were to buy sixes and have never worn sixes, try them on. If you don't, buy some thick socks just in case, because you may experience some rubbing like I do. Maybe I just have a small foot in the back area there. I don't know, but small foot at size 17. Am I right? Well, anyway, that's sneaker number 5, guys. Let's move on to number 6. So, we may be coming back to the trend that I was discussing about before, but it's slightly different. So, these bad boys. Don't get excited too quickly. It's not the Jordan 1 Chicagos. Now, you may look at them and think they look like the Jordan 1 Chicagos, but actually they came out in the same year as the Jordan 1 Chicagos, and they're the Jordan 1.5s. So the apparent rumor, or from what I know, is that the Jordan 1s were quite uncomfortable when Michael Jordan was wearing them in game. So he went to Nike and he asked for a different midsole/sole. So what they did is they chopped off the bottom of the Jordan 1 sole and slapped on essentially what is the Jordan 2 sole. Now, unfortunately, I don't own any Jordan 2s. I would actually like to own a pair of Jordan 2s. They don't release too often these days, but I would like to own a pair of, like, Chicago Jordan 2s. I think they're if they're called the Chicago Jordan 2s. They're a very nice looking colorway, very clean. But, yeah, unfortunately, they just don't release them enough. So I had to resort to buying the 1.5s. It was interesting because a lot of people that have them or have bought them kept putting them as faulty or defective because they didn't have extra laces. From what I know, the Jordan 1.5s didn't come with extra laces. All the normal Jordan 1s come with multiple pairs of... Well, all the Jordan 1 OGs come with multiple pairs of laces. Extra laces are different colors. The 1.5s didn't. They only came with the black laces. Obviously, the other differences between the Jordan 1 Chicago and this Jordan 1.5 is the sole, as I discussed earlier. You can see there's a slight little dent here to signify that it is a little bit different. It's a little bit thicker around the mid here, and the toe box looks completely different to a Jordan 1 toe box. Now, it may look quite similar in the video, but if you have them in person and put them side by side, they look completely different. And of course, the tongue isn't actually white. It's an off-white kind of color that makes it look very, very retro if you see it in person. Also, the Nike Air logo is black. Personally, I think that's a very nice touch. I really like the black Nike Air logo. I think it looks a lot nicer with the rest of the black accessories that come with the shoe. Personally, I think these are more comfortable than the Jordan 1s. The Jordan 1.5s, the sole is really, really nice. It feels really, really secure around a lot of the areas like the heel and very much around the mid here. I think it's really, really nice. They're really, really comfortable. I would definitely recommend buying these if you see them come up as quite cheap in your size, if you can't get the Chicagos because the Chicagos are quite expensive these days, or if you just want to see what the 1.5s are all about. I would highly rate them. But yeah, for number 6 in the collection, fellas, this is it here. Just before we go off to number 7, I'll just showcase to you, that's what I mean by the Jordan 2 sole. It looks very different. If you don't know what a Jordan 1 sole is, I'll show you next, but the Jordan 2 sole here, very different. Very, very different. But big fan of them. Big fan of them. But let's move on to number 7. For number 7, I have the awesome collaboration between Nike SB and Jordan Brand. So if you don't know what these are probably, I think these are the oldest shoes in my collection. Not the pair that I've owned for the longest time, but definitely the shoe that came out the longest time ago. Essentially what it is, it's the Jordan 1 collaborated with a pair of Nike SB Dunks. Now, they are labeled as the Lance Mountains, as the famous artist, I think. Yeah, artist and skateboarder Lance Mountain decided to do a collaboration between Nike SB and Jordan. He really liked wearing Jordans when he was skating, and he obviously got really used to the Dunks when they came out in the early 2000s. So he decided to do the collaboration and combine his both fond love of SBs and Jordan 1s and put them together to make this shoe here. Now, why I really wanted this shoe in my collection is that as you wear it, The color fades off the black when you scratch it, bump it, whatever, as you do when you're wearing shoes, and the actual color of what the colorway is comes out from underneath. So as you can see by just the little bottom of the midsole there, it's red on the bottom, signifying that when I scratch it away, this shoe will turn into a pair of Bred Jordan 1s, the iconic pair that apparently got banned by the NBA. You can see on the back that I've scratched an X into it. That's because I wanted to make this one look kind of like the 2011 banned ones. I wanted to try it out. It worked really well. I think I did a pretty good job at it. But I have worn these so much in, moshes, just running around in general, just, mucking about. Still, nothing. It still like holds up. A lot of people use nail polish and just remove the color off of it. I think that's kind of lame. I think you should wear it authentically and just let it scratch off as much as you can. And you can do little graphics on them as well, which I think is a really cool idea instead of just, using nail polish and removing all the paint off of it. They come with the left one being a Bred and the right one being a Royal, as you can see by the blue sole on the bottom. And as discussed before, this is what the Jordan 1 sole looks like when we were looking at the 1.5s before. The right one will turn into a Royal, which is Michael Jordan's favourite colourway for the Jordan 1, and the only Jordan 1 that he didn't wear on court from the original OG releases. I've scratched on the back as well just to make them both work out. But again, worn them, and there has been no blue coming out through the Wings logo or the swoosh or even the toe box here. It's still pretty black, so I guess I'm just going to have to wear them over the next couple years and hopefully they'll come through. Hopefully we'll start seeing some blue in them. They come with 2 extra pairs of laces, and I've still got them in the bags unwrapped, so they come with a pair of red laces and a pair of blue laces. I was thinking of putting, like the red laces on the Bred pair and the blue laces on the Royal pair. I eventually didn't go with it. I eventually stuck with just the black laces because, the colours aren't coming through. If the colours fully come through, I might switch it up for the other coloured laces and see how it looks. To note again, the laces that they come with are SB laces. They're not Jordan laces, which initially for me was a big thing. I didn't realise, and when I got them, I was like, oh, okay, so that comes with SB laces. Because personally, I don't like the SB laces. I think they look kind of, I don't know, cheap and bulky. They're just kind of gross. But eventually I came around to them. I actually quite like it with the shoe. It looks quite nice. And it just suits the aesthetic of the silhouette quite well. The box as well is like this. A lot of SBs or a lot of general release SBs that I see is usually just the teal coloured box, but this is half and half, signifying that it's a little bit different. The paper as well that it comes with has the Air Jordan 1 SB paintbrush little graphics on it. I think that's really cool. Another cool little thing to add to it. I've kept it all in its box. I keep all the boxes as well. I put them on display in my room and stuff. Personally, I do this because I think boxes definitely like 25%, if not a third of buying the shoes. I definitely think the box is a big part of it. So I kept the box, kept it all intact, definitely the way I want it. But I do wear them. I do wear them because I think they look really nice. I think they should see the light of day. And sometimes some very nice people have conversations on the street with me about them because they know what they are and they enjoy the culture as well. So that's always nice. But yeah, that's the one. That's number 7, I think, in the collection here today, fellas. So for lucky number 8, this will be the latest addition to my collection, and that is the A Star Is Born Jordan 1s. They were labelled as OG, but out of technicality, I would say they're probably not. Why I would say that is because they have flaps that fold back, very much like the Jordan 1 Off-White collaboration. Personally, I think it's a nice touch. So if you fold it back, it says A Star Is Born with the birthday to Michael Jordan just down the bottom. Very hard to read there. But personally, I think it's a really nice quality shoe. The leather is a really good quality. I got them probably about 2 months ago, and I've loved them, wearing them ever since. They're really comfy. The quality of the leather makes it really nice on your feet. Personally, I didn't change up the laces. I like the black on black, but you can change it up with the 2 colors of laces that it comes with. Now, I've seen the red laces on a lot of pairs where people remove the stitching of the swoosh. So the swoosh is a little bit different if you can't tell. Normally the swoosh is just leather, but on top of the leather they have embroidered heaps of different colors over the top of it. I personally like this little touch to it. It adds a little bit of flair to it. But some people have just grabbed tweezers and pulled all the colors out and just to leave a red swoosh. That looks really nice as well, but personally I don't think I would do that to my pair, or if I was going to do it to my pair, I'd probably buy a second pair and do it to that pair. Really nice shoe, awesome release. I think it came out either early this year or late last year, but quite cheap as well, and it's a very nice color as well. It's not too flashy, not too crazy. I really enjoy it. I think it's nice. A cool little addition as well is that the tongue, even though it does say Nike Air, it is actually made out of leather. It's not made out of the meshy material that the tongue is normally made out of as well, the nylon or whatever it is that the tongue is made out of. Cool little addition. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, definitely rate this as number 8. I really enjoy this pair. Would definitely recommend if you're looking into getting into Jordans, as having this as your first pair would be a good way to start your collection off. As you can tell by now, I'm obviously a big Jordan 1 fan, but yeah, number 8, guys. For number 9, who would have guessed it? Look at what number 9's gonna be. Number 9 is another pair of Jordan 1s, another pair of Jordan 1 OGs. This pair is known as the Jordan 1 UNC. As you can see, very vibrant blue, even more vibrant in person. Comes with 2 different lace colors. It comes with the white and the North Carolina very light blue. It was my first ever OG. This was the second pair of Jordans I ever bought after the red elephant prints that I showed you first up. Really love this shoe. The padding on it was really, really nice for its time. Came out in 2015 or 2016, I think. I think it was 2015, but yeah, the padding on it, really, really nice. And the tongue, I don't know what was up with the tongue, but the inside of the tongue was a lot more comfortable than the other Jordans that I've been wearing at the time. Personally, really love the shoe. Awesome for spring and summer, very much like the Easter ones that I showed you before. I think this is a little bit more applicable in winter as well because it's made out of leather, so if I do dirty it up a little bit, I can clean it very easily. Absolutely love this shoe, awesome looking shoe. If you can get a pair, I definitely recommend it as they are a staple. So obviously the reason that it's a North Carolina blue and it's called the UNCs is because Michael Jordan went to a North Carolina college and, you know, graduated there. Oh, well, I don't think he graduated. I think he then left for the NBA, but yeah, left for the NBA, but still kept the color true to him. You can get these in obviously the OG or the Off-White collab. Personally, I would love to have both, but I don't want to pay $5,000 for the Off-White collab, so I've stuck with the OG pair that released. Absolutely love them. Awesome shoe. Would recommend it to anyone that's interested in getting some of the classics for the Jordan 1 colorways. So yeah, boys, this is number 9. So for number 10, this is probably the second oldest shoe that I have in my collection. Not the second oldest pair that I've owned, but it's just its release date was a long, long time ago, and so many people are asking for a remaster of it, even though it was already a remaster. It's the black and white Jordan 1 OGs. So these came out in 2014 as well, just after the Lance Mountain and Jordan 1 collaboration. Really nice shoe, really nice color. The only critiques that I have of it is because it's from 2014, Jordans weren't notoriously known for good leather quality back in 2013 and 14. So the leather quality in these are pretty bad. It feels really gross, it feels really restrictive, not a lot of movement in it. It doesn't feel soft and nice like a lot of the new pairs of Jordans that come out these days. Really easy colorway to wear though because it's black and white. Initially I was having a hard time figuring out if they were real or not. The main critique was that back in the day, fake Jordans, apparently the swoosh would meet the stitching in the corner here, and that was true on this pair here. But looking at pairs at StockX and GOAT, the images seemed to show exactly that, so I wasn't too concerned about it. Then I had a semi-heart attack when I actually got them, because when I pulled back the tab here, on the inside, the sizing is just here under the swoosh, under the Nike Air logo here. if you buy any other pair of Jordan 1 OGs from a later period, they are all on the inside of the shoe, like way down here. So when I saw that there, I got so concerned. I was like, oh my god, someone has actually for some reason faked my giant ass size. But no, it turns out I was just overthinking it, just freaking out a little bit. These are real, these are, you know, how they're actually meant to be produced. I really love them. Awesome looking shoe. I don't give them enough, you know, day out in the sun. I think I should wear them a little bit more. Recently, a women's version of this one came out, although it has hair on where the black is, or fur, or whatever they're calling it. I think that's kind of gross. I think they should have just remastered this for the women's. As I was saying before, though, a lot of men want this remastered again. They want it in a better leather quality, and they want it, you know, again, because it's a really nice colorway. The resale on them is really high for a lot of sizes at the moment, because because it's a 5-year-old shoe. Like, there's hard to find heaps of pairs that are dead stock. Personally, I think that remastering it would be a good idea, because then it would give the people what they want, and obviously they want this colorway because it's very basic. I really enjoy it. Really nice shoe. It took me a while to find this one, actually. I wasn't expecting to find it, and someone was selling it on eBay because they bought it from East Bay, left it in their room, forgot about it, and then decided to resell it later on. So I'm very grateful that I was able to find this one later on in life. But yeah, really nice shoe, guys, and that's number 10 there. For number 11, this one's very bright. This one isn't normally something I would wear, and it's not normally something that you'd probably think that I would wear. Not many of my friends have seen me wear it, and they kind of all freak out when they see me wear it because it's like a very, very not me kind of shoe. But it's the Jordan 1 OGs David Letterman's. Now, you may be looking like, oh my god, look at the color of it. It is whack. Personally, it looks a lot better in person, and I think it looks really nice with some really like washed out dad looking jeans. Personally, I like this colorway because, one, it has a little bit of a story to it. So I'm not sure if it was his first interview or one of his first interviews with David Letterman. Michael Jordan, he wore a tracksuit which was red on the outside with a really dark navy blue kind of color on the inside of it. So in the collars here and stuff like that. They had a couple of jokes in the interview, really funny. They talked about the Jordan 1s. You can see him pull up a pair of Chicago 85s, and you know, they both say, oh, that's just a load of crap, it's a crappy colorway. Obviously, because Jordan was a fan of the Royals at the time and probably still is. But honestly, it's just a blast from the past. You can look it up on YouTube. The video is there. I'll link it in the description as well if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, no, really awesome. Really cool little story behind it. So obviously the colorway for the shoe is to mimic the outfit that Jordan wore for that interview. And to symbolize it a little bit more, I don't know if I'll be able to show it, but on the sole, it says on air with a microphone behind it. I might not be able to show you the microphone. Oh no, there it is, down the bottom. So I can show you the microphone there. I think that's kind of cool to say that it was, you know, very much referencing the interview. It's very inspired by the interview. It's very much taking influence from the metallic Jordan 1 series. This is the only Jordan 1 that I have that is technically a metallic colorway. By metallic, I mean that the heel tab here, the little area here, and the swoosh are all a metallic leather. So the color pops, as you can see, and when I move it in the light, it kind of shines. Looks really nice. I really wish that, I've discussed it with my friend Dorian, I really wish that they remastered and did as a pack all the metallics. They've only done the metallic blues and the metallic reds, which I do hope to cop at some point. But I really wish they would do like the metallic greens, purples, oranges, greys. I think they'd be awesome. I think a massive pack with them would be sweet. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that's coming out anytime soon because not many people are asking for it. But yeah, this, even though it's not an OG colorway, it didn't come out back in the day, I think it is a really nice call to the past, you know, having this colorway available for people to buy. I bought it for $90 US. It was really cheap. Someone was just trying to get rid of it at this point. A size 17 David Letterman, they were just like, "Ugh, get out of here." Yeah, so $90 USD, so that's $50 off the retail price. Not including packaging and shipping, obviously, that costs a little bit more, but yeah, really enjoy it. Really basic shoe. I should wear them more often. They are quite nice. Just have to get a couple more pairs of jeans of the colors that I like, and then I can wear them with these bad boys. But yeah, that is number 11, guys. These final 3 shoes are probably my most favorite, my most worn, and also probably my most expensive as well. So for number 12, we've got the Jordan 1 OG 2016 pair of the Bread colorway. So if you don't know what these are apparently the shoes that got banned by the NBA. There's some arguments between was it the Air Ships or the Air Jordan 1s, but who knows, we'll have to dive into that more closely over the coming years. Very nice shoe for its time, very very good quality leather. I got these for my 18th birthday, and what had happened was I was going through eBay through, I think it was a school assembly. Don't worry, it was a very very boring school assembly where they were just going on about a bunch of crap. But I found these on eBay for retail because a guy had 2 pairs of size 17s and just wanted to get rid of them, obviously. Really cool. It has the OG numbers in them to tell you what size it is, and I think it's the model number as well afterwards. Really, really awesome. Absolutely love it. I think it's an awesome shoe. When I got them for my 18th birthday, I may have drank a little bit too much and decided to run in them. So the toe box is quite creased. A lot of people would absolutely hate me for that because they think the shoe should just be kept dead stock and never touched. Personally, I think it's really clean. I absolutely love it. For a while, I used to wear it with the red laces because I think he wore the red laces in a dunk contest. Absolutely iconic, absolutely love it. But I think the black laces now definitely suited a lot more. Definitely one of my favorite Jordan 1 colorways. Apparently we're going to get a OG cut of this at the end of the year. So this obviously isn't how they looked back in 1985. They used to be a little bit higher. They used to be a lot thinner. The toe box is quite thick, as you can see. It used to be a lot thinner, which means they creased a lot better than what they crease now. Personally, I can't wait for that. I hope it's still the Bread colorway we're going to get and not some other variation of it. But even if we do get some other variation or a different colorway of it, I'll probably still try and buy them because I absolutely love this colorway and absolutely love this Jordan 1. But yeah, guys, for number 12, the Jordan 1 Breads. For number 13. Now this is a big one. If you know me personally and you knew me back in the day, you'd probably see me wear these all the time, but I absolutely loved them. And in all honesty, if I wear them out and they just start falling apart, I would definitely buy 1 or 2 more pairs because I don't think they'll ever come out ever again, or they might get a retro release in like 10 years, but I think they're an absolutely lovely shoe, and it's the Jordan 1 Top 3s. So as you can see here, they've got so many different colors to them, but they still keep a very simplistic look by keeping an all black and white primarily look to them. So what they are is they're a collaboration of the Chicago Jordan 1s, the Royal Jordan 1s, Michael Jordan's favorite colorway, and the Bread Jordan 1s. So you got the 2 colors that he wore while playing at the NBA, and the 1 colorway that is his personal favorite, all combined into 1 pair of shoes. So with the left shoe, we've got the Chicago at the back, transitioning slowly to the front where the Royal is, and on the bottom we've got a Royal sole as well. Absolutely loved this shoe. I wore them to death, which is why I haven't worn them a lot recently, because I've decided to put them on ice for a bit because I have so many other Jordan 1s to wear instead. On the right shoe, we've got the the Royals on the inner side, coming in to the to the Breads at the front. Now, if you also look on the insides of them as well, you've got the Royal and Bread on this side. Now, they came with so many extra pairs of laces. Still got them in the box there, but they come with blue, red, white, and black laces. 4 pairs of laces. The only other time I've seen 4 pairs of laces come with a pair of Jordan 1s was the recent drop of the Travis Scott Jordan 1s. They came with pink, red, white, and black laces, I think. Maybe brown. I would have to check again, but they did come with 4 pairs. I just can't remember the colors off the top of my head. The tongues as well. Absolutely awesome. See if I can display it to you. So there you go. You've got the Chicago tongue here, and you've got the Royal tongue here. Absolutely awesome concept that they've got different colored tongues. The production probably cost them quite a bit, but they still only asked for 160 USD. One of my favorite Jordan 1 colorways, and the premise of using 3 different colors, putting them together, they redid later and did the metallic gold and black Jordan 1 top 3s. Awesome colorway as well. Wouldn't really want it because it's patent leather, so the creasing would look really gross on it, But yeah, for the top 3 concept, I would love to get another pair of these because these are absolutely awesome pair of shoes. So yeah, that's number 2 on my top 3 list, and also number 13 at this point, I think, fellas. Yeah, the Jordan 1 top 3s. Last but not least, the number 1 shoe in my collection, number 14, is the Jordan 1 Chicago's. Yeah, boy. Most iconic colorway. It's the colorway that he wore the most during his time in the NBA wearing the Jordan 1s. These are the 2015 OG pair. So I think that's exactly 30 years after the... it's not on the same date, but it's the same year. 30 years after the original Jordan 1 came out, they released the Jordan 1 Chicago's. I have worn these to hell, but looking at them, they've still maintained quite a good condition. The toe box, I'd have to admire and point out just for a second here, because the Chicago's in 2015 came out with a thinner toe box that gets thinner towards the end, meaning the creasing looks slightly better. I know it looks kind of bad with that lump there, but from a side point of view and from, you know, different angles, the actual wear on them has lasted a lot better than the breads and the top 3s that I had. But honestly, I really wish that they would continue this with a thinner toe box at the front. Personally, I hope that's what they do with the pair that they're releasing on, I think it's Black Friday, where they're doing the OG cut and stuff like that. I hope they do a thinner toe box like it had back in 1985. Came with spare laces. It came with red and white ones. The red laces on it look really weird. I personally wouldn't do it. Same with the white. I would definitely have the white over the red though, because the red looks really out of place. But to make it more authentic to what he actually wore it with, I have it with the black laces. Obviously the tongue is the red and white like the rest of the shoe. Not much else to it that's really significant, besides that it's just really iconic. Absolutely love this shoe. If you ever have the chance to buy this shoe, definitely get it. It was featured in the movie that came out this year, the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Miles Morales wears this pair of shoes, and then obviously they released a pair of Chicago ones that are slightly different. They have an icy sole instead of the red sole, and a little spots on the red leather to make it look, I think, more like, I don't know, like the Spider-Man clothing and stuff like that, or like the Spider-Man outfit. Yeah, that's number 1, fellas, though. The Chicago 1 Jordan 1s. Probably my favorite Jordan 1 colorway. And if they come out anytime soon in a better leather quality, I would definitely buy them. That's not to make fun of the fact that this quality is horrible. It's actually still very good for its time, for 2015. Jordan brand has only been improving since then. The 2018 and 19 Jordan 1s are amazing in leather quality, but if they remastered these maybe in 2020, you know, for the 35th anniversary or something like that, I'd buy them, because this is just an amazing colorway. Even though it's got red and white, it's not really out there and really bright, really easy to wear. Absolutely love it, guys. Iconic for both the culture in both sneakers, hip-hop, basketball, all of them. Big iconic shoe. Absolutely love it. But that's it. I'm out of very iconic and rare sneakers that I have to showcase for you fellas, unless you want to see my Converse collection, which is pretty average. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video today, guys. And if you want to see more of my content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and definitely lets me keep pumping this content out for you fellas. But it's probably been a very long video for you guys, so I'll probably end it here. Until next time though, I'll catch you later.